Super Kiwi 64 is a video game developed by Diplodocus Games, a small German game developer, as well as by the solo game dev Sianctro. Between the two of them, they've been developing games for all consoles for nearly a decade now. Super Kiwi 64 was released on December 3rd, 2022. You can find it on Steam and the Nintendo eShop for $2.99 plus tax. Not a bad price for a casual game with tricky platforms and nods to classic 3D low-poly 90s games. You play as this adorable Kiwi, gathering gears and gems to help rebuild your plane to escape this underground area. You'll run, corkscrew, climb, jump, and glide across different stages to find them and avoid obstacles like ancient robots and lava. So much fucking lava! Using floating and elevating platforms to maneuver and further explore the stages. And there's a shit ton of skeletons on just about every stage, which I'm assuming means these old worlds have either been wiped out or abandoned by whatever used to inhabit them. I smell a game theory. The game is a simple collectathon that may have been inspired by Super Mario 64. I mean, Super Kiwi 64, it's not that subtle, guys. Come on, it's right there, it's okay. The game wears its inspiration on its sleeve, and that I applaud it for. You start at a central hub and warp to different worlds varying from a tropical forest, creepy dungeon, and a beautiful desert. The scenery of each world is gorgeous and so much fun to explore every nook and cranny. And if you ever stray too far from the original portal you came in, you can return to the central hub via the menu. And as someone who just loves getting lost and exploring new worlds, that feature has been a real saving grace for me. The controls are so simple, the game just thrusts you into action. There was no tutorial, which made learning the controls kinda all the more exciting for me. Like learning that I can climb walls and glide on my own felt like I had more agency in the game, and was so proud that I could figure it out all by myself, instead of sitting through a tedious how to play level. You learn to play as you explore the stages, crawling before you run kind of thing. I like it. Oh, but my biggest gripe so far is the damn camera controls. It's too slick, and I don't know if that's the game sensitivity or the Switch's Joy-Cons controls. But the camera is a bitch in this game. However, if you mess with the camera just enough, you can see beyond the walls and ground onto the other sides. Really keeping true to that glitchy feel of Nintendo 64 games. The visuals are heavily inspired by old-school Nintendo 64 games, as you can see from the simplified polygons, murky to saturated colors. Every stage had its own unique piece of music that matches its environment very well. It's calming, pleasant, and great to zone out to while you're trying not to die! But you know, I'm the kind of person who doesn't really listen to game music, so I'm not really the best judge when it comes to game music. I just play it on mute. But either way, this game is, I don't want to call it ugly because that's mean, but most 64 games do look kind of ugly, and as an homage to 64 games, that would kind of be a compliment, so it's ugly in a good way, you know? Man, of course when I was playing it off-stream, making less of a fool of myself, I was getting a much better handle of the game and having a lot of fun. As a collectathon, it's only as challenging or as easy as you'd make it to be. I literally scaled a whole tower instead of taking the floating platforms. It's like the mechanics are there, you could use them if you want, but you could also like peck, climb, dealer's choice. Makes the game more versatile that way. However, because I was a GameCube kid, I think people who grew up on the Nintendo 64 would get hit with a wave of nostalgia playing this. So if a trip down memory lane or an exploration of the past interests you, then consider giving Super Kiwi 64 a play. And if you've ever played it or any of the other games by the developers, please let me know. I've been trying to expand my interest in other games outside of Pokemon and Sonic, so I'd love to hear your suggestions. Comment your subscribe, like that share. Thank you everyone. I'm out of here.